Hello, veterinary friends. Welcome to the Veterinary Life Coach Podcast. Today, I have a wonderful guest for you. It's Dr. Lee Pope. He's a seasoned veterinarian with over 13 years of experience in small animal medicine, surgery, and practice leadership. He's a graduate of the University of Georgia College of Veterinary Medicine. He spent nearly a decade as the owner of Lawrenceville-Suwanee Animal Hospital before serving as co-medical director for CareVet's Lawrenceville-Suwanee and Premier Veterinary Hospitals. In these roles, he combined hands-on patient care with strategic leadership, developing medical protocols, mentoring veterinary teams, and optimizing operations. He now serves as Veterinarian Services Consultant for Revelation Pharma. He leverages his expertise in diagnostics, surgery, and personalized treatment to advance veterinary medicine. Welcome to the podcast, Dr. Pope. I'm delighted to have you.
Thank you. I appreciate being here.
So my first question to all my guests is always to tell me about their veterinary story. So how did you, I read a little bit of it, but how did you get to where you are today and why?
So growing up, like a lot of kids, I want to be a vet. Everybody loves animals, right? So that story, want to be a vet. And then once I started working at a clinic and then worked at an emergency clinic, that's when it really kind of sunk it in the puzzles that you're having to fix and trying to figure out. So I really enjoyed that aspect, and then got into vet school, went through vet school. After graduating, worked at a private practice for 2 years, small animal clinic, and then moved on and purchased my own existing one doctor clinic, and then ran that for 9 years, sold it, stayed on for a couple years, and then left to pursue other options.
And what made you want to pursue other options? Like what was the driver?
The reality was I was tired. Um,
Were you
it was,
burned out or just sick of
I,
doing what you were doing, or what was it?
I was, I always wanted, especially as vets, we always have plans, right? You have plan A, B, C, D, like your
Yes,
whole life is planned out kind of
it's
thing.
planned. Yeah.
So the plan was own a clinic, make money, sell it, and then go and do talks, use my experience to do talks, work for a company or something like that. The selling when I did was probably a little bit earlier than I anticipated, but it was just an area of working 6 days a week, and I couldn't get another veterinarian in there to help me push it to that two doctor. Um,
Yeah.
and so it just got to where I was burned out and tired, and I was ready for something else. So I had opened up to 6 days a week, expecting to grow to that two doctor, and I was never able to find anybody to come to the clinic with me.
Didn't happen.
Hmm.
It's in the cards. So did you go directly from that into the position that you're in now, or was
Well,
there some stepping stones?
stepping stones, I sold and stayed on for 2 years. Uh,
Okay.
and then, which kind of a side note, since I was a one doctor, everybody know corporates don't buy one doctors, right? Because
Right.
they're worried they're going to leave. So it was coincidence enough that there was a local 1.5 doctor clinic that was also looking to sell. So this corporation bought both of us and merged us together to be a
Oh,
bigger
okay.
clinic. That's what
That's
made
why the names.
that's what
Okay.
made it more attractive for corporate to buy us if we can merge these two clinics together. So I stayed on for 2 years, and then closer to the end of the 2 years, I worked with one of the pharmacies and worked with the pharmacist, and just everything's in who you know, right? That's how this world works. So
Right.
just kind of dropped a question. Hey, are y'all looking for vets? And she said, well, not right now, but something might happen. Reach out to me in a handful of months. And reached out, and then started the wheels turning, and then Revelation brought me on. So it wasn't anything that they were like necessarily actively looking for. It was just, hey, we just started this and it all lined up for both parties.
So why this Revelation Pharma? What about it? What about it kind of drew you in? What did they start out with veterinary medicine and you just joined, or was it a new branch? Tell me a little bit about it because I don't know much
So
about
vet med from their end is kind of a new branch.
it.
So
Okay, so it was human.
right. So they
Okay.
mainly focused on human, and then okay, let's get into veterinary compounding. Um, so they bring pharmacists kind of into their network. So Taylor's Pharmacy is one of the bigger vet med pharmacies. So they brought Taylor's on, and it was the pharmacist there that I had worked with that brought me on. So Revelation itself was kind of mainly focusing on human med, and then okay, let's branch out into vet med because there's a good amount of veterinary compounding pharmacies. What kind of brought me on was okay, how can I help them get into the vet side? You know, all kind of vets that work for Merck or Zoetis or all the big pharmaceutical companies, and you listen to them at CEs, but we don't really have any vets on the compounding side. If you want to call a vet and say, hey, let's talk about this case or something, or let's talk about dry eye with compounding, you don't really have that. You just call and you talk to the pharmacist, and they say, well, I can get you this drug and this solution. Okay, but they can't really discuss medicine or anything like that. They can discuss some, but um, how to sell it, the business aspect of, okay, well, yeah, I can get this drug, but I go through all this work to get it. And as the business owner, I didn't, I don't really make any money if I just sell it directly to them. So
Right.
what can we do to kind of work together and give that veterinary side kind of thing?
So is it your role in your position now to consult with veterinarians when they're coming to a compounding pharmacy, or is it more about like the development of the products for the company that they can then sell to the veterinarians? Like, what's your role?
Right now, this is all relatively early stuff, but right now the focus is on like educating the staff. And then if there are ideas for, hey, would veterinarians find this useful? Or if we have this drug, or if we have this delivery system, can we use it on the veterinary side? Will that be helpful? But right
Okay,
now,
so you're working with the human pharmacist to try to make it more veterinary friendly. Am I understanding that correctly?
in a way, yes. They have
Okay,
some veterinary pharmacists, but
okay,
they're predominant human pharmacists. And they're okay, what do we need to kind of focus more on the veterinary side? So, right, an example right now would be like methimazole. Okay, let's go over. I create a webinar for methimazole for the staff, so this way, if a rep for Revelation comes into your e-clinic and says, "Oh, hey, by the way, vet, we have methimazole. It's extremely important. Let's go over that." I'm an emergency clinician. Don't. Why are you talking to me about methimazole? Like we're not.
right.
We're,
Yeah, we
we're
don't
not.
use that.
Right. So if you come in and start talking to me, it's, you're a representation of that country or that company. So now all of a sudden, like, well, man, your reps don't even know like what this drug
What
is,
drugs to use where and
right? You're going to
yeah,
lose credibility pretty quick.
right.
So right now the focus is on webinars to kind of educate the staff and training as far as different, they have every company is going to call them different, but essentially the fast movers, gabapentin, methimazole, furosemide, the drugs that we know a lot of vets want and use and aren't the random
Compounded.
drugs. Right. So
Right.
this is what we have to where, hey, when you need methimazole, we have a big batch that's ready to go when you order it. So that client's not waiting 7 to 10 days to get medication.
Okay. And do they have like one location or multiple locations or?
So that's a nice thing with them is their Revelation was kind of the umbrella that brings in multiple compounding pharmacies. So
Got you.
it's
Like you said, yeah. Okay.
kind of spread throughout. So this way, if for some reason Taylor's can't do it, well, we have another pharmacy in the network that can take care of that, or this pharmacy focuses on this and that pharmacy focuses on um, something else. This one does ophthalmics, that one doesn't. Those kind of differences.
Okay. So what do you see then as the problem that you working in this role are hoping to solve? Is it to get more veterinarians to use compounding pharmacies, to know how to use them better? Like, what do you feel is your mission, if that makes sense?
To help educate more for compounding. Compounding will never replace FDA approved products.
Right.
Ever, ever, ever. That's just they have the funding, they have the research. It's just an example would be ophthalmics. Okay, your tech comes to you, and we just did a talk on this not too long ago. Your tech comes to you, hey, cyclosporin, it's available in MCT or corn oil or aqueous. What do you want me to order? Right? I don't.
And then you're me in the clinic going, I don't know. What's the
What's
difference?
cheapest? Right? What's cheapest?
Right. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Right. So
Okay.
that kind of stuff. Where are the vets? Every CE that I went to about compounding was bulk compounding versus individual compounding. Here's the legalities. And all us vets are like, look, we're just here for the leap CE and we're all falling asleep. Like, can you just give me my leap and let me go? Like, I don't care about the legality. Like
Right.
using it in clinic. I know I'm not supposed to, but we
Right.
all have that cat that has every disease known to man and has
So we have our little
150.
bottles on the shelf. Yeah.
Right, we all do that. And
For our hospital cat. Yeah.
yeah. So, like, where are the vets that are saying, okay, guys, when you order this ophthalmic, this is the difference between MCT, corn oil, aqueous. When you order the oral suspension and stuff, these are the bases. This is why it's labeled to only be good for this amount of time. Do we have studies that say it lasts longer? It's can we talk to vets more to get them to understand? We all know why we use compounding. I think most vets understand, yes, I use compounding if I just I can't get this dosed. Okay, maybe this compounding pharmacy can make it. But
Yeah, the cat won't take their drugs, or we used to do exotics at my practice. So that was a big compounding niche that we had to fill because nobody makes drugs small enough for birds and
right,
little exotics. So
right. So kind of working and kind of reminding, okay, this is the difference. And two, I mean, I think it needs to be a balance. There are some companies that are speaking out very hard against compounding,
the
saying,
drug companies, you mean?
yes,
Yeah.
there's kind of one big one in particular that's like
Oh,
really
really?
pushing that, yeah, really pushing that compounded X is not good, is not working. And so, I mean, it would be nice to have a vet side and not just a pharmacist saying, yeah, we're just mad scientists that are crushing up pills. Like,
Right.
okay, I mean, there is a use for it, and let's try to understand more about what they do. And it is more than just a mortar and pestle in the clinic, because I know there are plenty of clinics that still compound in house. And I mean,
Right.
if they're comfortable with that, that's great. But the reality is
Not
sometimes,
ideal.
yeah, you're asking I mean, we all know vet med, it's a lot of younger people. And so you're asking some 20-year-old to compound phenobarbital into a liquid and send it home. And you hope
Yeah.
that they
They
follow
did it
the
right.
recipe and they counted out enough tablets. Like,
Right.
okay, guys, there are a little bit safer ways to do this.
Now, when you got into this job, is it something that you already were pretty familiar with? Were you interested in compounded drugs before you took this job, or Were you just looking to get away from practice and you wanted to try something new and this sounded interesting? Like, what was your personal experience?
So, I mean, kind of a little bit of all that. I mean, I'm comfortable with compounding. I understand it, and we used a lot of it. And it was one of those, again, I felt like I feel like there's a hole there. And maybe there's a hole for a reason. Maybe no compounding pharmacy wants to really pay a vet, or maybe vets at CEs don't care what the base is. Like, I don't know, does it work? I don't care whether it's MCT or cornhole. Uh, do they not care? But for me, I care, and that stuff was never discussed. So
Right.
I was comfortable with compounding, and I've used it, and it was just I'm so used to dealing with reps and dealing with technical vets and stuff like that. Okay, you're dealing with this rep. Hey, I have this question. Oh, I don't have an answer, but I'll let you talk to Dr. So and so, and
Right.
with Merck or Zoetis or whoever, and they'll get you an answer. But if you have a question for a compounding pharmacy, well, let's talk to the pharmacist. Okay, well, let's talk medicine.
Right.
You
They
don't,
don't know.
yeah, why don't you have anybody there? Maybe it's my own ignorance, but just I feel like there's a hole, and I don't understand why that.
And you wanted to fill it.
I would like to, because I love talking medicine. That was my,
Yeah.
I mean, most of us as vets, we're all nerds, right? Like, oh, lepto, oh man, what's the incubation? How long is it good? Like when you're talking to the technical vets, it's just, yeah, let's like nerd out over medicine. Oh, you have this case and they have this irritate. Man, that's weird. Okay, well, what can we do? What do we need to do? Is there something else going on, or just kind of trying to figure things out?
So what do you see as kind of the future of the compounding industry for our profession? Maybe from the standpoint of veterinarians that are relatively new out of school and don't really kind of understand what it can do for us and what you can do as the educator to teach us how to do a better job when we're using a compounding pharmacy. That makes sense?
Yeah. So and so I mean the hope is just to under remember this other tool, right? We have so many tools as vets, and it's very easy to forget that this is an option. Hey doc, you remember we just got in that GI food? Wouldn't that be great for vomiting? Doc? Oh, I forgot about. I'm terrible about talking about food. So can't let's have compounding be that tool in the box to, man, Dr. Jones, is Miss Smith keeps calling saying she cannot get Fluffy to take this pill.
Yeah, and we've tried all the different types and nothing's working.
Right. We can't get her to take it. And then instead of, I don't know, I don't have time for this right now. I'll come back to it later. Okay, well, can we try to get it compounded? Is there a way we can get it compounded into a liquid or transdermal, or some other vehicle to get it to this patient? Are you going to, as all our clients love to tell us, buy your mountain home off of a compounded medication that you're selling to the client?
Right, right.
No, it's not your retirement plan, but it's something to fill those gaps and cracks of, okay, we just can't get this treated. Let me try this. You know what, Miss Smith, this drug hasn't been studied in a transdermal, but we can try it for your cat, and we can see what happens, and it's worth a try. Then to the client, okay, man, that doctor, they're really trying, and they told me that there's no guarantee, I know, but they're working with me instead of me having to call every other day, and now they're ignoring me. And the sad thing is, are we ignoring you because we don't know what to do? We can't help you, so we're embarrassed to get on the phone and say, I don't know, Miss Smith, I just pill them. That's all I can tell you. Stuff your finger. Well, she runs away. I don't know what to do. I can't help you. Like,
Right.
there are other ways that we can try different vehicles, and even educating the staff, because it's very helpful sometimes for when the staff reminds us of stuff. Hey, Dr. Jones, you remember we just had webinar or a CE on compounding and liquid. I mean, wouldn't this be a great one, or the transdermal or an ocular or something? Wouldn't this be a great one to try? Man, I completely forgot about that. Sure, let's try that. And even like training the staff or something. Okay, John, you are my go-to compounding pharmacy guy. You have the login for the compounding pharmacy. You've called them. Hey, I have this question. I want this drug and this dosage. Can you call the pharmacist and speak with them and see if we can get that done? I have to go into this room and see this next client. So many times we all like to do stuff ourselves because I want it done right. So I'm going to do it.
Right.
And then if you have a busy practice, which is the goal, you don't have time to do everything. You have to delegate. You have to delegate stuff. It'd be great to talk to the pharmacist, but you don't always have all that time.
So you see it as part of your job is to get the hospitals to understand it better so they have the ability to call and find out what's available, or that they will already have the knowledge of what kind of drugs that you can compound.
Well, I
I
mean,
guess
so I would say just remembering that is an
an
option.
option. Okay.
Yeah, you're not, I mean,
So they don't just shut down when a client's having an issue.
right. There are other ways. And now, I mean, yes, it's going to take a little bit more time than just saying, hey, there's this new pill. It's great. I mean, it is going to take a little bit more time to maybe research and see, okay, this let me call this, I'll have my tech call the pharmacist. They'll see what it costs to get it compounded, and we'll give you a call back. But there will be common drugs that you'll use, but even the random disease that you're looking up to see about treating it. Oh, tacrolimus treats this perianal fistula in a shepherd. Okay, now what? Okay, I have this manual saying this random drug. Okay, now it's not commercially available. Okay, I remember. Okay, I can go to this compounding pharmacy and we can get it.
Figure
Um,
out a way to get it.
right, we can get it set up that way. So just remembering compounding is not the solution for everything, but it is a tool for us to use when we are having difficulty getting medication to a patient.
So I talk to a lot of veterinarians that are thinking of changing up their career, and that's something that you did. You went from hospital ownership to working in the hospital that was corporate owned, and now you're with the compounding pharmacy. What advice can you give people that are thinking about doing these kind of career changes? And why was this the right one for you?
So the harsh reality that I saw, there's a lot, and I'm sure a lot that you're talking to that want to leave the clinic.
Yes,
Um, I heard a stat from a job recruiter. I think, don't quote it, like 40 to 50% of vets, if I came to the clinic and offered you a job with drug company A, about 50% are going to say, sign me up. I'm
sign
ready
me up.
right now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, what that means is it's not as easy as, especially as I thought it would be. I thought for sure, walk away from the clinic, previous owner, man, people will scoop me up without even a second thought. And that's not necessarily the case now. So it's a be be ready for a lull to where, like, have that backup plan unless you have something lined up with that company beyond the shadow of a doubt. Hey, I've spoken with HR. As soon as I leave this clinic, they're bringing me on. If you don't have something exactly lined up, have a parachute to kind of keep you afloat for a little bit. Work with your reps. I was One thing I never understood, just so many people don't work with their reps. So many people don't talk to their drug reps. work with your reps, talk with your drug reps. Even if you're interested in industry, hey, I'm off next week. Can I just ride with you? Or the technical vet, can I just ride with you one day just to kind of see what it's like? Because again, when these corporations have stacks of resumes of people applying, do we all really think that HR goes through each resume and reads it? Or does Sally come and say, hey, look for Dr. Smith. I rode with him. He's great. Look for Dr. Jane. I rode with her. She's amazing. Okay, because you gave me that recommendation, I'll look now instead of over 100, I'll look at 10 to 20 that my reps, technical vets have dealt with, know that they're into this product, and then we'll go from it that way. So industry is much more competitive now than I thought it was. And it's
Yeah.
just sadly because so many people are tired of being in the clinic, which is a sad reality of how things are.
Yeah, it is. It's something I'm trying to change in our profession because I really think it's important that people do stay in the clinics because it's such an important job that we do. And if we can make that better, then maybe it won't be that everybody's trying to escape. I think it's 40% actually. I
With
did
a
a
40,
podcast with someone else and they said 40. It was an AVMA study or something like that.
that's what she
Yeah,
mentioned.
it was like 40%.
And that's one of the biggest things with me is like people people are so afraid to say no when they're in the clinic.
Yes,
And,
it's part of
and
the problem, right?
right, like I don't like when I had the clinic, we had working sick appointments because we were busy enough. Okay, the schedule's full. What happens? Receptionists come back. Hey,
Double book them.
yeah, Miss Jones wants to come in today. The dog's vomiting diarrhea, and you're looking at the schedule and you're stressing. You're like, oh man, she's a pretty good client. I literally don't have any. Okay, fine, fine, squeeze her in, kind of thing. But then, like okay, we close at 5, but now I'm leaving at 6:30 or 7 because we
Because,
double. And I actually want to try to keep my records up to date. So
right. So then you got to
now
write up your records. Yeah.
right. And but it's such like a shame monster to say no to a client, or the look from the receptionist or technician like, I don't have any room today.
Right.
Well, what do you want me to tell them? We're not an emergency
Tell them to
clinic.
try somewhere else or there. Yeah. I think in a way, urgent care is going to help that. Like if we got a really good urgent care model, we might be able to alleviate some of that pressure. It's just if 40% of us are leaving, then we can't open more hospitals, right?
Right.
So
That's
we've kind of got ourselves in this conundrum, unfortunately. But so give me the advice then, if you were giving your younger self advice about either being an associate or an owner and about saying no, like how do you do that and to advocate for yourself?
so you cannot be all things for all people. The toughest thing I had to learn is being in a clinic, like to have to tell somebody I can't do this. And again,
Right,
as vets, we're derm, internal medicine, surgeons, we're ophthalmologists, we're everything, right? So in
right,
school, you're basically taught that okay, these are all the diseases. So to come out and have to be like, okay, I can't fix your dog's fractured femur because I've never done plates or anything.
right,
You just I just always felt so guilty. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not a good enough vet because I
right.
can't cure
Yeah.
it. I can't
Which is
fix
part
it.
of why we get burned out because we're beating ourselves up on top of all the other pressure that we have, right?
Right. So
Yeah,
it's that. So it's look, you understand you are not all things to all people. You do the best you can, and you set, everybody hates this word, you set your policy to whatever it is to keep your sanity. If you want to
right,
close at 2, close at 2. The clients
right.
will either leave or they will find a way to
Or
come
they'll
to
adjust.
you.
Yeah,
Yes.
right,
So what do you think you can tolerate and still keep your sanity? Because you might explode and be able to bring an associate on in a couple of years, and that's great. You might trug along for 8 to 10 to 15 years by yourself. with
Right.
nobody else in there. And can you
Yeah.
do 6 days a week for 8 or 10 years?
Right.
So what can you do long term? And it is okay to say, no, I'm sorry, we just don't have room. I cannot see you today.
Today. Right. I love that. Yeah. I think that's really good advice. So what's different now that you're in industry from when you were in practice? Like, what do you see as the lifestyle changes? What do you love about it? What's not as fun as you thought it would be?
So I mean, lifestyle, it is nice not to have just that strict 8 to 6 kind of thing. Okay, I work when I can get to the gym in the morning and we can drop the kids off, or if the kids have a event and we want to go to it, okay, I can be done by 4:30 or 5 if I need to today. I can really crunch and try to get this stuff out and get it done by this time, so I can spend that um, spend that time with the kids. And then the you have different stressors, but the harsh thing is I don't have to worry about that dog or cat dying because maybe I wasn't good enough. That's
Okay. Take
that's
some of that pressure off.
right. So you don't.
Yeah.
There were so many clients that just they understand and this is life, but it's always the bad ones that haunt you. That, well, why didn't
Right.
you fix it? Why didn't you find you missed this? Why didn't you see this? And then you're beating yourself up because we don't. Nobody likes to miss something, right?
Right.
And then
Right.
you're racking your brain. Did I feel that cat's abdomen? I felt it. I'm pretty sure I felt its abdomen. I didn't
Right.
feel anything. So the stressor of losing that patient, or euthanasias, the clients that come in and want their cat euthanized because it's peeing out of the box and it's vomiting. So, well, it's 15, it's peeing out of the box and it's vomiting. I don't have a lot of money, just go ahead and euthanize it. No, like,
Dealing with that. Yeah.
yeah. So, and that just there are some people that there are certain stressors that it rolls off their back. Um, but my personality is it doesn't just,
It eventually didn't for you.
yeah, at all.
Yeah. And there's something powerful in knowing yourself.
Yeah. To know, I mean, you have to know what you have to be able to see where that breaking point is because,
You don't want to get to it.
yeah, it's once we pass that point, it's too easy for us to do really bad things when we pass that point.
Yeah. So what else about compounding in vet med am I missing as far as what we should focus on with these kind of pharmacies and the meds that you guys can create? Like, is
So I
there
mean,
something else that you want to teach people?
I would treat them just like any other company. And I, again, think it's very important to know your reps and know the technical vets and stuff. Know your know your compounding pharmacy. There's nothing wrong with calling your hey guys, who do we use? Okay, we use X. I'm gonna give them a call today. I just want to talk to the pharmacist. Okay, hey, are you usually there? Who's there? Do y'all have reps? What do you do safety wise? Do y'all have like any safety checks or anything? I know you're not FDA regulated and you can't make any medical claims, but uh, I want to be comfortable talking to my client when I say, hey, we have this drug. There were these eye drops a couple years ago that were killing people because they weren't sterile, right? They're over the counter stuff. So some clients might come in nervous about that. Well, I got this random bottle. Like, are you sure this stuff's okay? Like, you don't want to just say, yeah, it's fine. Well, no, I called. I know the pharmacist. I've spoken with the pharmacy. This is what they do to make sure everything's secure. So have a relationship with the pharmacy other than just ordering methimazole from them once a month for your 5 hyperthyroid cats. Like, know who the company is, know who the pharmacist is, know what their um, protocols are, so we can feel more comfortable and actually have a relationship with them, just like you should have a relationship with any other company whose products you use.
So what did I not ask you that you want to make sure people hear about either what you do or the experiences you've had, or even advice for people that are in our career?
Um, let's see. I think corporate, if you sell to corporate, make sure everything is crystal clear in writing. Just like I'm sure every vet that sells to corporate says. Make sure talk is cheap. So if if you're not in a rush to sell and you're dealing with corporate, make sure you have everything in writing. And again, have that backup plan. If things don't go as well, know that you have your exit strategy, and what you plan to do. Um,
Do you see corporate causing problems with the clinics that they're buying, or do you see that there's a place for that in vet med? Because I know that's kind of a controversial thing, right? Some people hate corp, some people think they're great.
so
It
it,
just
it boils. The sad thing is it boils down to the people, right? And when you have a corporation, you have a lot more people, and
people, yeah, for
you have a
sure.
lot more differing personalities. So corporation, there's a reason they exist. It's nice because insurance for my staff. Okay, we had 7 employees. We're sorry, guys, we're not going to get very good rates. And also,
Right.
you know how much it costs me to like pay for your insurance if I'm trying to make
Sure.
it
I do
worthwhile?
know
Like,
how much that costs. Yeah, it's a lot.
right? So, and you like that's another thing that makes you feel bad. But when okay, we just looked at the marketplace, guys, it's man, it's cheaper for you to just get it from the marketplace. And if I have insurance for other people but don't have it, but you don't get it, now you don't get the rebates or whatever from the
Right,
marketplace.
right. Yeah.
So corporate exists because hey, we have 600 employees. Okay, now you can have better insurance. Or hey, this was a slow month, but you know what? It was a slow month out east, but out west it wasn't as slow. We can all kind of support each other. So it's not as detrimental if it's a little slow. So corporations have their place, and it's just who's who's managing it and handling it. When you have to, my staff has an issue, they come to me, okay, yeah, you know, charge this amount, or yeah, go ahead and order this, or hey, this piece of equipment's broken, let's go ahead and order it. You can't do that with corporate, right? You got to ask this person that asks their person that asks their boss that asks the head boss, and then
Right.
you
There's
got
a
to
lot
wait,
of layers.
right? So there's always
Yeah.
layers. So it's things are a lot slower, and if you won't mind being patient, then that's fine. But if you have the person above you that just doesn't really seem helpful or just doesn't really seem to care, then your life's going to be miserable just because
Yeah.
you no longer have control over that. You have to kind of do what they say and you're kind of stuck. So
Right.
there are plenty of vets that are sold to court and they love it. Everything's great. My question would be, okay, well, the person managing your clinic or whatever, like you got you got lucky and got somebody that's like really good and can explain stuff. But when corporations are telling you you're allowed to have 1.2 employees per doctor, right? When you own a clinic, I get frustrated with that. Like,
Right.
what does that mean? What's two
Yeah.
tenths of an employee? Like,
Right.
no, we just have you been here? And a lot of interesting that a lot of independent clinics will kind of overstaff a little bit because we're planning on somebody calling out sick.
Right.
I don't know how it is in other industries, but vet med, we have there's a lot of illness and like mental illness and stuff in vet med. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of people calling out sick sometimes. And so, okay, yeah, I have 4 technicians, but if they're here, great, I'll make them work. But if somebody's sick, you know what, we can still crunch it out because I have three. And even if there are two sick, I still have two technicians. I can still get the day done. But when corporate says, no, you're overstaffed, you're only allowed to have two technicians. Well, what happens when she calls in sick or when he calls in sick or he gets injured and now he's
Right.
out for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
You got to roll your sleeves up. And
Right.
when you have people that haven't been in vet med that tell you just roll your sleeves up, that doesn't go over
Not a useful piece of advice, right?
well. Right. So it's,
So, oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna ask you another question, and I guess my question is, um, what did you love most, or what did you like most about when you owned your own practice before it became corporate? What was exciting or fun or interesting about that, about being a hospital owner?
The I would say the best thing was just kind of the pride of when the clients loved you. When that client is in the front and, oh, you're new here? Oh, you're gonna love it. This place is great. They're amazing. And you're like, oh, I didn't pay her to say that, I swear.
Right, right.
Just
Yeah,
like the clients that will see you through thick and thin to
right.
where they're never going to question you. They're never going to doubt you. Just you are the best thing for their pet, period. And they will drive wherever to see you. That that was my most rewarding part of it because this is my clinic, this is my policies, this is my responsibility. The clients love everything about what I created here.
Yeah,
Be an associate and say, well, they like seeing me, but they don't like this policy or this vaccine protocol or something, but I can't do anything about it. That can kind of tie your hands a little bit. But when it's yours, this policy is your policy. It's tough to have to make policy. You feel like you're making a policy for everything, but
right.
that's how you get it flowing and functioning. So to lose that autonomy, I guess, to be able to do, hey guys, this is how I want it set up. This is what we're going to charge. What's the local area charging? Okay, we're going to be in between that. To be told that no, it doesn't matter what everybody else is charging. This is what the higher up say to charge. So this is what you will charge. That's tough to lose.
Takes away a little bit of the joy of the personal ownership, right?
Right. Because I
Yeah,
can, as a client, if you have an issue with my prices, fine. I'll let you know. I like to pay myself. We got light bills and
right,
my staff wants to get paid. I don't want to have to
right.
not miss, I don't want to have to miss a payday. There's three
Yeah,
paydays this month. So I don't really want to miss one of them. I can sit down and sure, if you want to talk, we'll talk. I'm not going to have a chance to talk about medicine because we're taking up this time, but we can talk about pricing if you want. This is how I feel it's very fair. But when you don't have that and just all you can do is say, yeah, I know it's frustrating. Well, I might just have to go somewhere else. I'd hate to see you go, but I
you
have
understand. Yeah,
no control over that. So, but building those relationships with those clients was um, the most rewarding part. And that part I do miss. I do miss
miss.
being
Yeah,
around the clients that it's not just like some of the clients you have to tell, okay, okay, enough about me and my family and your family, your dog. Remember
right,
your,
right.
your dog is
Yeah,
sick. Let's let's talk about that
yeah.
now.
Let's quit chatting. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I love that part of it too. Yeah. So, what do you want people to know about Revelation Pharma? Just so before we wrap this up, is there anything else that we didn't get out there? How do they learn more? Is there a way they can contact you if they have any questions?
So, Revelation Pharma, there's a lot to it. So we have our fast mover products. And there's even actually um, like a wholesale part of it as well, to where they can almost act kind of like a um, distributor for certain products.
Okay.
Um, so there's a lot that they can offer. I'm trying to get. Um, so the simplest thing about something more about Revelation, just revelationpharma.com is a good
Okay.
place to start with their information, kind of everything that they um, have to offer.
Okay. So anybody can go to that website and learn more, and then if they want to use this company, they can somehow get on board there.
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's good to know.
Um,
Are you someone that people could contact if they want to learn more, or is it more beneficial to go to the website and um, send a question there?
it would be more beneficial to go to the website and do
Okay.
a question there. As far as like sales, um, I definitely wouldn't I definitely wouldn't contact me as far as
Because you're more
sales.
on the education side, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would be kind of more on the education side because they have kind of an animal health department as far as different sales. For me, it's just that education aspect as of now.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm happy to have you, and I learned a good bit about this, so I'm glad that you were able to teach us a little bit more about the compounding pharmacies and how this works. And I love hearing about your experience going from being an owner to a corporate and now into industry, because a lot of people in our profession are looking for other things to do with their degree. And I think the fact that you took your degree into the compounding pharmacy space is interesting, and you kind of created a easier life, at least outside the clinic for now, right? When you needed it with your kids. I
Mhm.
love that. All right. Well, I appreciate you being here. Any last words or anything that you have to say before we wrap it up?
No, ma'am, I think that's it. I just
All
appreciate
right.
you having me today, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun. So this is Dr. Lee Pope, and he is from Revelation Pharma, and I appreciate you being here today. It was really a good conversation.
Appreciate you having me, Joey.
All right. Have a beautiful week, everyone. Bye.